Welcome back to the Life of a Gentleman podcast. Here is where the guys discuss, debate, and consider all aspects of living like a true gentleman. Rich and Anton will consider entrepreneurship, success, fashion and styling, family life, and everything in between. So sit back, relax, and enjoy our latest saunter into the life of a gentleman. Guys, take it away.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Life of a Gentleman podcast. And this week, we're going to discuss something that's a question maybe that's entered your mind too, and entered ours. Do big brands still matter? You know, there was a time when I had a friend, he used to say, when he was rocking his polos, it's either the boat or the man. You know, it was Nautica or Polo. And if it wasn't that, he wasn't rocking with it. And a lot of people felt that way. You had to have, you know, the big brands, whatever it was, jeans, sneakers, polos, jackets. If it didn't have a brand, you were going to almost get clowned. And I don't really think that matters anymore, Anton.
No, I think we're in a different time. Like you say, Rich, we came up around the same time. And I remember, you know, you were in school, September, man. You come back, you know. You got to come back fresh, right? You got to come back, the Nautica. I remember there was a time, this brand's still around, but nobody's rocking Helly Hansen. Like, I don't know if that was a thing in Michigan, but down here in Jersey, like, everybody was wearing these, you know, these rain jackets, Helly Hansen, and you had Hilfiger was huge.
Hilfiger was big, yeah.
Huge for a minute, right?
Boss, remember Boss?
Boss, right.
You didn't have Boss? What were you doing? You know?
Yep, Donna Karan, like all this stuff, and then you had your black brands, you know, Maurice Malone, D-Lo NYC, Dada Damani, you know, like all these things. So you had to have some
woo.
Yeah, you had the woo. Yep, you had the woo. So those things were. So if you weren't wearing some of that stuff, and if you weren't, you know, going with some of the, you know, the black brands or whatever, the African American brands, whatever you want to call them, if you didn't have on something that had a flag, a logo, something on it could be a dope polo, it could be a nice pair of jeans, but if nobody could figure it out, it was an issue. It was an issue back in the day.
Oh yeah, man. In my school, what we used to always do is it's ridiculous now when you look at it. Like you said, if you wore something that was nice and people would give you your props, you know, give you a compliment. Yo, that looks nice. And then it was like a backhanded compliment though, because then they would go for the tag and they would always say, but what is it? What is it? And they would pull out our tags and we'd all go around, you know, we'd look, and if you couldn't identify what it was, people would go right for the tag. And if it was like some little off brand or,
now you clowned.
It's over. It's like, yo, this is good quality. Y'all said you liked it, but when they start, as soon as you see that hand reaching for the tag and you know it wasn't, you know, one of those it brands, you were done. Your day was about to be finished.
And it was weird. I don't know, like, so, you know, I'm not trying to date us, but like when we were in school, there was no the internet wasn't what it was. Like, you couldn't Google like what's hot, you know, what's the hot brand, you know. So I guess if you didn't watch music videos, if you weren't up on the latest hip hop styles or whatever was going on, you know, you were out of it. I know with me, like, my mother dressed me straight preppy. It was like, you know, now I appreciate it more, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, I had button ups with collars and all kinds of stuff. And sometimes I can't front, brother got clowned. You know what I'm saying? But my mother wouldn't let me leave the house without a belt. You know, like, you can't leave the house without a belt. And, you know, I appreciate what she did then. And where I was always neat and clean and everything, I sometimes didn't have the brand. So like what you would say, like, you know, my mother messing around and take me to Kids R Us. You know, Kids R Us was in house. You know, you know, I don't know what brands were in there, but you know, you
didn't want to grow up.
Yeah, I'm a Kids R Us kid. But you know, you understand what I'm saying? So the you know, the clothing was quality, but you're not gonna get any credit in the street. You know, so
Jeffrey the Giraffe on the.
You had the long neck. You know,
right.
You had the long neck. You know, but I get it. You know, but then it was you had to have the brands on. But I think what's changed now, like, and I talked to my wife about it sometime with our son, he's about to be 10. The kids can kind of wear whatever they want to now. Like, I remember there was a time, like, if I don't even think Target was around when we were kids, but whatever, at least not in this area. Target wasn't around. I couldn't go into Target and buy some t-shirts and some pants because I'd be finished.
Get clowned. But now this dude will go in there and he picks up whatever he wants to. Now, maybe he's only 10, so I don't know. Maybe, the high school thing and the junior high school thing. But I believe across the board, the kids are dressing a little bit differently now. Like, your individual style. So it doesn't matter what it is. And I'm sure, those styles are still there. Like, certain brands are still there. I think, like, a lot of the younger people, like Supreme and some other thing, the off-white stuff, that's real big. But you can still wear basically whatever you like to wear. You can be more creative. You can be more creative now, for sure. You can show your individuality, which is cool. Same thing with my son. He's bugging me for back to school stuff, and he's he could care less about what brand it is, as long as he feels like it's a cool shirt and he's gonna look good for the middle school crowd. Yep. He's happy. I'm happy too because I'm saving money straight up. The only thing though, sneakers. You can't get around it. I don't know these sneakerheads. Don't even try it.
And they messed up the game because I remember like kids sneakers. Once you got to, I think it was 7.5. 7s were like $60, right? Mm-hmm. Same sneaker. Once you got to a man's, it was like $160. You know what I'm saying? But now, it's not the same anymore, bro. Like, my little guy's wearing sneakers. So that is one thing. And I'm going to say that's one thing that's a little bit tougher, especially like sneakers. Now, you can wear almost any kind of shoe. Or you can go with some brands that aren't as expensive. You can get some Vans. You can wear some Converse. And nobody's going to really clown you. When we were coming up, you had to wear Nikes, Reeboks, Asics, Adidas. I don't even think could you really rock Adidas when we were coming up like that?
No.
Maybe some shell toes for sure.
Yeah, shell toes. That's it. Other than that, no.
Yeah, branding was super important when we came up, and I'm almost happy that at least some of the kids don't have the same pressure that you came under, because like we're in completely different geographical locations, and we kind of dealt with the same kind of thing when it came with brands. Definitely. Like you had to rock something that, like I remember, I'm dating myself again, when they sold Aeropostale in Macy's. This was before Aeropostale had their own stores. Yep. They sold it in Macy's, so, and it was just different back then.
That was before my time. No. I had to mess with you. No, but
yeah, you were in the Bugle Boy Huskies.
Man,
members only jackets. Remember those guys?
Yeah.
The members only joints.
You still see them pop up every now and
then. They do. Yeah, they do.
But here's the crazy thing that I want to transition is the reason I like it is because for what we do.
Yes, definitely.
We do custom clothing.
Yep.
And it gives us a fighting chance because, hey, let's face it, not everybody in the world has heard of Harrison Blake Apparel. But the thing is, social media has kind of leveled the playing fields where if you can identify and connect with those that are, marketing the brand or the faces behind the brand, you got a fighting chance to get a little foothold in the industry and stake your flag and claim a little piece of the land in the market. Yep. Whereas in the 90s, late 90s, I was really into suits, and some of the brands, Hugo Boss, that was a big one. You had to have that, or you went to Nordstrom's and got some of their stuff.
Did Paul Smith get big too out your way?
That was pretty big. David
Maxwell did that.
Yeah, David Donahue.
Yeah.
But it had to be. Of course, Armani. If you had Armani, could nobody tell you nothing?
Nothing.
Right?
Nothing.
So now,
nothing.
When you look at the suiting game, Armani, who cares?
Right.
Nobody cares.
Right.
And then being in this industry and who makes it or what it's made out of.
Where the fabric's coming from. Yeah, fabric's fabric.
The construction of it.
Yep.
I mean, let's just say, call us, you know?
Yeah.
You know, because
save a little money.
Yeah, because what you're paying for and what we come to realize, and I think everybody has, you're paying for the brand name. You're paying for the marketing. You're paying for all the money that they have to spend on commercials to convince you that
those
they're
sexy
better.
models in black clothes and obscure doggone references to doggone, you know, that's what you're paying for. You're right. Yes. You're right, Richard.
Yeah. So the great thing about it is if you're out there, you're starting a brand, or if you're just somebody, like you said, who doesn't have endless amount of money to spend on clothing and you want to get good quality clothing, you don't have to go to the big stores now, the Nordstroms, the Lord & Taylor, the Macy's, and feel like this is the only place that I'm going to get a good quality suit or shoes or something like that. There's a plethora of great brands out there that are selling high quality menswear, suits, and the like, you know, including, shameless plug, including us, you know, Harrison,
including us, especially us. Yeah. And what I think a lot of times what you didn't realize is that a lot of times what you got in a big box store, there was levels to everyone's brands. You know, you had your entry level suit, you had your, you know, right above that, and then you had their couture lines, which you rarely saw, you know, in a Macy's. You know, you would have to go to one of their flagship stores to get that. So, you know, the construction was, you know, it was okay, you know, but really what they did was mass produce a suit someplace. And, you know, for them, you know, I'm not going to say that, you know, everybody got to slap their name on it, but they mass produced a suit at a manufacturer. For them, they slapped their name on it and they sold it. They sold it to Macy's, and that was their entry level lines, you know, and that's a lot of what you got. So you didn't get, you know, you might have had this particular name in the suit.
Yep.
But you're not doing anything better than, you know, what you would do at a lot of other places, especially not with us.
And a lot of those brands, industry secret that, you know, maybe I'm gonna
don't give them too much, Richie. No. They might come after us.
Allegedly, some of the factories make the same suits for different brands. So it could be 2-3 different brands, all being made in the same factory. The only thing different is the label and the marketing.
Right.
And that's what it really boils down to. So in today's landscape, the way fashion is set up, I think it's much better for the little guy like you and I that are out there. Yeah. And also for the consumer.
Definitely.
Now the consumer has the power to make the decision and say, you know what? No, that looks like quality. It feels like quality. The service was quality. It must be quality.
Yes.
Back when we were coming up, if you didn't have that name,
it didn't matter.
It didn't matter. It didn't matter about anything else.
It didn't matter. All it did was you had to have the name, and that was what legitimized what you wore, especially when you were younger. You know, that's what legitimized what you wore, even as you got into your teens.
Not even younger, though. Remember?
Right. No, you're right.
No, you know, not even the younger. If you said this suit is Joe Blow versus same suit, and then the next person comes and says it's the exact same suit, but said mine's Tommy Hilfiger.
Oh,
that one's better.
You got the Tommy Hill. Yep.
Yeah.
No doubt. And you remember Jokers would keep the little tag on the. you get your little hot Tommy Hilfiger. Calvin Klein. We forgot about Calvin Klein. Calvin Klein was huge in the suit game.
Yeah.
Huge in the suit game. But you keep your little Calvin Klein, little banner right on your sleeve. Please, people, don't cut that thing off. It's 2020. Let's, we
can do
better. Please cut it off.
But yeah, it's funny taking that trip down memory lane though, and just thinking about how it was. But I think to answer the question that we posed at the beginning,
yes,
the big brands, they don't matter anymore. I think it's all about the quality, the level of service that you get, and really, now with social media, you get to see the people behind the brands, like you and I. I mean, hey, if you connect with us, you think we're easy to get along with and talk to, and reach out. You know what I mean? Where it's you never could get to Tommy Hilfiger. You're not going to be able to talk to him.
No.
You can talk to Rich and Anton. We're gonna take care of you.
Yeah, you can call us. Like you can literally call us.
It's a different experience, and I think people like that better.
Right.
Because they connect with us.
Yeah.
It's not like you walk into a store, you pull something off the rack. Oh, sure, you think, well, this is a big brand, it's international.
Yes.
There's no connection there. There's no story. There's no something goes wrong. What do you take it back to the salesperson at the desk? They don't know anything.
And what's interesting, you take it back to the desk. It's whoever's store you bought it from's responsibility. You don't hold the manufacturer responsible.
No.
You understand what I'm saying? It's just like, if you bought it from wherever, I'm not going to say anybody's name because I don't want to disparage them, but wherever you bought it from, that's who you feel like, oh, they didn't do the right, So now, but it's not the brand. It's not the brand.
It's not the brand.
It's not the brand.
So I
you really still believe in the brand.
Yeah.
They got a bad jacket.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I think where we're headed is in the right direction, and also I think the way things are going with retail closing down more and more spaces.
The brick and mortar is a dinosaur. I believe that. I believe the brick and mortar is a dinosaur.
Fast fashion is dying. I always like to relate it like this. I know you and I both, we love to eat. We love a good cheeseburger, right?
We're going to eat.
Yeah, we're going to eat. Yeah, and the thing is, if you love a good cheeseburger, right? Let me put it to you like this. Cheeseburgers, to me, are just like suits. Fast fashion, get you a Whopper, you get you a Big Mac. It's a burger. It's pretty good. Hits the spot. But if you go with something custom, where you get the custom experience, that's like going to a gourmet burger shop or your favorite craft brewery where they got somebody in the back that's like a mad scientist hooking up a great farm-to-table burger. They're both burgers.
Right. You're going to get full.
Yeah, they're both burgers. They're both going to...
But how's the experience? Yeah, how's the experience along the way?
Right. So,
right. How's the flavor?
Yeah. You're not going to remember that Big Mac. I mean,
no
offense, McDonald's. But that great burger that you had, you're always going to remember that. So, I think in closing, the future's bright for the little guy.
Yeah.
And as long as they're delivering quality.
Yeah, everybody's got a fair shot in the game. Yep. And I think that's what's important to add. If you are a customer-centric brand, if you're looking to help your clients to be a facilitator of what they want to get and to help them to get where they want to get, you got a real good shot nowadays, where before, outside of your locale, you probably weren't going to blow up. But now you have the opportunity with the advent of the internet, the world getting a little bit smaller, things opening up. Everybody's definitely got a shot at it.
Yeah, most definitely. Guys, let us know what you think in the comments, and also, leave us some feedback. If you have show ideas for the future, let us know that as well. Until next time, Life of a Gentleman.